Hi, and welcome to The Writing Engineer. You know, many authors will tell you that getting a good book cover is the best thing that you can possibly do. It's the thing you should pay most attention to. And you know, they have a point. Your back cover copy could be amazing. You could have the best story in the world, destined to be a New York Times bestseller for multiple years. You could be the next Terry Pratchett, Brandon Sanderson, Neil Gaiman, Nora Roberts. Heck, you could be the next J.R.R. Tolkien. But no one's ever going to know unless they pick up your book and look at it. And that's what a cover will do for you. Today we'll be talking about how to get a cover. Because while a lot of people will say having a cover is one of the best things you can do for your novel, I found that not a lot of people will tell you exactly where to go to find one. So, where do you go to find a cover? If you've been watching, you know that I have a Kickstarter for my first book, Amara's Law. Well, it's going to be ending in a few days, and it's probably not going to get funded. But that's not the point. The point is that having a Kickstarter made me make sure that all my things were lined up, so that if it did get funded, I'd be ready to rock and roll from day one. I'm going to be sharing the research that I did on finding cover artists and cover illustrators here today. A little background on cover artists and illustrators. In my research, I found that there are two types of cover designers. The first is an illustrator, and the other one is a photo manipulator. And they are basically what they sound like. An illustrator is a person who will draw you a picture or make a painting that is then turned into your cover. These are often used for science fiction novels, for fantasy novels, anything that might have something fantastical or very difficult to reproduce in a picture. They'll use a drawing or a painting. The second is a photo manipulator. A photo manipulator is just what it sounds like. They take a bunch of photographs and maybe some illustrations and different images and mash them all together into a cover. This is an oversimplification of both of these types of things. And while it may sound very easy to do one or the other of these, they're not. They're extremely difficult. And I would recommend that you hire a professional to get your cover done. There are a lot of authors, mostly indies, who think that, heck, I'm doing everything else, why shouldn't I make my own cover? Well, there's a reason. And that reason is, your cover stinks. Now, you may not want to hear that, but it's true. For the majority of authors, this is going to be a true statement. There are a few exceptions, but by and large, your cover's not going to be very good. I'm sorry to tell you that. It's just the way that it is. You're an author. You're a writer. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you're a good graphics designer. Because, do you know what makes a good cover? I don't. But I know a good cover when I see one. Let me put it another way. Let's take the example of a house. Well, a house is basically just a bunch of wooden boards nailed together in a certain shape with a skin put on it to keep the weather out, right? Wrong. And you know that's wrong. And the same is true for a cover. Just as a house is so much more than boards nailed together, a cover is more than words and pictures. A good cover is one that grabs my attention, that makes me want to pick up the book and flip it over to read the words on the back of it, or in the description if it has to be an ebook. Okay, enough background. Here's the good stuff, or the really boring stuff if you hate this type of thing. I'm including a spreadsheet linked below. It's going to have 27 names in it of cover artists that I've found in my search of the web. There's a lot more than 27. Even there's a lot more in my original list in my notebook. But the 27 is a short list. Those that I didn't dismiss out of hand because of genre or some other thing that I found wrong with their website or with their work in general. The things you need to look for with a cover artist. Let's go over those one by one. First, you like their work. Take a look at all the ones that they've done so far. Most of them will have a portfolio that you can peruse through. If you don't like their work, chances are your audience isn't going to like it either. Second, they're in your price range. Now, I know that you want to get the best cover for your book. Everybody wants to get the best cover for their book. But the best cover artist for you doesn't always mean the most expensive. The best cover artist for you is one that you like their work and they're in your price range. Third, get someone who actually replies to your emails. I found a cover artist who I really liked their work. Their covers seemed to match with my writing style almost perfectly. They were in my price range, and they had a lot of extra deliverables that I found would really help me out in the long run. So I sent them an email, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited some more. They never got back to me. Not even a, hey, we're really busy at this point. It's going to take us about 2 weeks to get back to your email. Nothing. Dead silence. So, into the trash they went. I don't have time to mess around and wait for someone else who's not going to respond to me if I email them. If they don't want my money, someone else certainly does. Fourth, deliverables. See if you can find a cover artist that will deliver you something more than just the covers that you asked for. A lot of times cover artists will include a 3D render, over here, or possibly a web banner that you can stick on your website. Maybe they'll give to you the fonts that they used on the cover. Or possibly, if you're really lucky, they'll give you the original file. All of these are marketing things that you can use to help promote your book. And you should be looking for these to give you a slight edge up when you launch your first book. Finally, in the spreadsheet, you're going to see several columns. The typical ones like the artist's name, their website, how many drafts that they'll give to you to choose from. I've tried to include as many of the prices that I could from people who have both responded to my email and are listed on their website. Now, these prices are as of August 2018. If you're watching this further down the road, more than 6 to 12 months from now, chances are that prices have gone up. Most everything does. Well, I hope my list will help you on your road to finding a cover artist. If you liked today's video, please click the like button below. If you'd like to know immediately when my next video comes out, please click the subscribe button. All my contact information, including website, Facebook address, and Twitter handle, are going to be listed below. In a few days, I'm going to be hiring my own cover designer for my first book, Amara's Law, which I hope to release next year in April of 2019. I will be doing the cover reveal here as soon as I get it, and I will detail the entire process for whichever cover designer that I chose. Well, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and have a good night. I found that through my research, there are two types. Cover artists, or a cover is so much more than that. It's not just pictures and words on the front of your book. Come on. A cover is more than just pictures and words. Oh my god, why can't I remember that? Yeah, that was terrible. What was I? Oh, I'm still recording.